Hey everybody, it's Flamecalvin here, and welcome back to more Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. In the last episode, we took down Snator along with catching his Shadow Lunatone in Phoenix City. And in this episode, I'm just going to be blunt, we're not going to have any progress in this episode, because I realized I should probably go back and take care of a few things, as in informational things, and some bios. So, sorry if this is going to be a bit of a boring episode. I will tell you now, while I'm only 30 seconds into the video, if the next part is up, go ahead, and if you want to skip this episode, this is basically going to talk about the Pokespot Pokemon, my bios and recommendations for them, something new about my recommendations, or my bios actually. I'm going to start rating Pokemon from 1 to 10, with 10 being the best and 1 being the worst. So with that, I have like allergies going on right now, congestion or something. But before that, since this is supposed to be kind of like a recap, I'm going to go over the Pokemon that I have on me. My team actually, because we do have a team of 6 right now. So we're starting off with Jolteon here. Jolteon is level 29, electric type, Volt Absorb for the ability, those are its stats. Thunder, Bite, Thunder Shock, Quick Attack. Shuckle. Bug Rock type, sturdy for the ability, amazing defenses. People are probably going to nag me about using Shuckle, but it is a defensive wall if nothing else, and that's why I chose it. Defenses are just ridiculous, like I keep saying. Sludge Bomb, Toxic, Protect, Safeguard. Nuzleaf, Grass Stalk type, Early Bird for the ability, and pretty well-rounded stats. Giga Drain, Brick Break, Secret Power, Fake Out. Nuzleaf's probably one of my luckier Pokemon, if you guys have seen how it works. Baltoy, Ground, Psychic type, Levitate for the ability. Pretty good defensive stats, not too bad on speed either for some reason, and you know, special attack and attack are meh, but still though, it's still a really good Pokemon with Ice Beam, Side Beam, Ancient Power, and Mud Slap. Golbat, Poison Flying type. Inner Focus for the ability, pretty good stats like speed and attack. Wing Attack, Bite, Confuse Ray, Protect. And the most previous member of our team, Snorunt. Ice type, also Inner Focus for the ability. Fastest stat is actually speed, which ain't too bad. And also somehow special attack is the worst. Hopefully that will change. I'm not going to change my mind with using Snorunt into evolved form because I really like it. Water Pulse, Bite, Icy Wind, Sting. So that is the look at my team, and so I think we should get going. I'll cover the Pokespots in order in which you arrive with them. First one being Rock. Let the question mark taunt you. Oasis Pokespot, and in the cave Pokespot area spot, Wanderer Mirror B. Which, if you also know me, is the best character in the game. Alright, so, sorry if it's going to be like lack of stuff on the actual screen, but just wanted to go to each spot and kind of, you know, set the scene. This is the Rock Pokespot, and you can find 3 Pokemon here. A little note about finding Pokemon is you can find raw Pokemon from the levels of 10 to 20. So some of these Pokemon could be pretty good if you catch them at higher levels. Kind of like Surskit that I traded away. And then unfortunately Zubat at like level, what, 11, 12? I think it was 12. Well, alright, so first up is Sandshrew. Sandshrew is a ground type Pokemon that evolves at level 22 into Sandslash. It's pretty good. It has really good physical attack and physical defense, can do some cool stuff. I think it can learn stuff like Brick Break and Poison Sting, Earthquake of course. And it can take pretty good moves. Just, you don't want to really put it in against Pokemon that's weak against, of course. Especially special attacks. And for Sandslash and Sandshrew, I give it an 8 out of 10. Next up is Gligar, a ground and flying type, which this is one of those cases where if it evolved in this game, I would definitely recommend it. I love Gliscor so much, but it doesn't evolve in this game. Gligar is a ground and flying type, like I said, which does give it 2 immunities, which could be pretty interesting. An immunity to ground and an immunity to electric. So 2 immunities, not really, it's not bad. It's still pretty good. But with just such lackluster stats and no evolution, it's kind of hard to use, I think. I've used Gligar and its evolved form before in future games after this. But in this game, I've yet to use it. So, because of the 2 immunities, and it's not too bad, it can be pretty defensive, I gave Gligar a 5 out of 10. And last up for the Rock Pokespot is Trapinch, a ground type that evolves into Vibrava, a dragon ground, not dragon flying, dragon ground at level 35. Kinda late, but it evolves only 10 levels later at level 45 in the Flygon. Which Vibrava and Flygon actually have the Levitate ability, so it does go with the immunities, the same ones as Gligar, ground and electric. So, you know, if you're thinking between Gligar and Trapinch, I would go for Trapinch. Now, I'm going to say my score now for it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. The reason why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 is just because Dragon is special in this game. And Flygon could do a lot gooder. Yeah, I am smart. Like I said, Dragon is special though, so stuff like Dragon Claw, it's not going to get the good attack boost from it. It's just going to be special attack. So it's using stuff like, you know, Dragon Claw and Flamethrower would be good. And I guess I could say it's a pretty good mixed attacker. So like that, just go over again. Sandshrew and Sandslash, 8 out of 10. Gligar, a 5 out of 10. Trapinch to Flygon, 9 out of 10. Alright, and I do apologize again for lack of stuff on the screen. And I wasn't really sure how to do this. This is my first kind of like episode kind of like this. But in the future, it should be better. Alright, the Oasis Pokespot. Let's have you going up there and turn around. There we go. Beautiful little place. I love the graphics in this game. Oh, and by the way, 4 days into Pokemon X and Y. I am so excited. I already have my games pre-ordered and the guide pre-ordered. It is going to be so good. I don't want to say I'm going to be putting the series on a hiatus already, because that's like one thing you never really want to do for a first series. It's such a great start putting something on a hiatus. But you know how much I like to update. Well, when Pokemon X and Y come out, I might not be updating nearly as much, because I'm going to want to play that game so much. I will still update, but you know, I know also keep a little bit of a, not really a vlog, but I'll post about Pokemon X and Y for people who don't want spoilers. You don't have to look at them. But if you guys want, I can post stuff about what I'm doing in my version of X version. That's the one I'm going to be getting. So leave in the comments whether you want to see me post stuff or not, or talk about it in the videos after it comes out. Now, I'm totally game of doing that. I've been trying to do spoilers, and they're getting flagged, and they're getting strikes, and all this other stuff. But that's besides the point. Just put in the comments whether you want me to tell you guys how Pokemon X is, and tell you what I'm doing in it, and Pokemon I capture and stuff, gym battle data. Whatever you guys want, just let me know in the comments. Alright, the Oasis Pokespot. Again, every Pokespot you can find 3 Pokemon from level 10 to 20. First up is Hoppip. Hoppip is a grass and flying type. It evolves at level 18 to Skipling. It's one of the earliest, it's like the earliest evolution of the Pokemon here in the Pokespots. To Skipling, and Skipling at level 27 to Jumpluff. Now, it's grass and flying, which gives it a 4 times weakness to ice. And it's also weak against stuff like rock, which grass is normally good against. I don't want... yawn. Now I'm drowsy. Not drowsy. Pokemon puns, everybody. Never mind. But I don't want to send out my grass type and be worried about being hit by a super effective rock type move. I've never used Hoppip in its evolution before. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. It's great for statuses. That's the only thing. My recommendation of the Hoppip evolution line to Jumpluff is a 3 out of 10. That's the lowest one on my little video today. Hoppip got a 3 out of 10. Just because it does have an immunity to ground, which is good. It's safe switching to ground types. And it has stuff like, I think, Sleep Powder, like Stun Spore, and Leech Seed. Really good for catching Pokemon, but I just don't like it too much. I've never used it. I'm sure you guys can probably find other uses for it. I'll probably, eat my words another date when someone's using a powerful jump off or something. But I just don't like it. It got a 3 out of 10. Next up is Phanpy, a ground type. And if you saw Chucker Conroy's Crystal Let's Play, you will see how good Phanpy and Donphan is. It evolves into Donphan at level 25 as a pure ground type, which again gives it an immunity to electric. A lot of things actually have an immunity to electric in the Pokespots. So if you're having trouble with electric types, pick up 1 or 2 of these Pokemon like Sandshrew, Gligar, Trapinch, Phanpy. Really good attack, really good defense. Can use stuff like Rollout, which is pretty good. If you guys ever know about Whitney, you guys will know about Rollout. And it has some pretty good stats. I really actually do like it, and I would recommend it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. And next up is Surskit and Masquerain. Surskit is a bug and water type that at level 22 it evolves into Masquerain, which is a bug and flying type. I don't like that they gave it flying type characteristics and made it lose the bug type. I mean the water type. The water bug characteristic was a lot better. It gained a lot of weaknesses to fire. It gained a quad weakness to rock instead of just being weak to rock by 2 times. Weak against electric still though, and just ice. I would recommend it in some ways. It evolves early and it gets Intimidate along with being immune to ground. And it learns some pretty fancy stuff. It can learn stuff like Rain Dance and Ice Beam, and I think Gust and Silver Ring. So it is usable. When it evolves into Masquerain, it gets Intimidate for the ability. So, getting able to lower both your opponent's attack stat by 1 stage, pretty good if I do say so myself. But anything else though, my rating on Masquerain is a 6 out of 10. Just because of the Intimidate and the immunity though, it's not bad. It probably is usable, but I've never used it just because Surskit's kind of a pain. But 6 out of 10, it's better than a Hoppip for being a 3 out of 10. And moving on to the last Pokespot here, the Cave Pokespot. Again, 3 Pokemon. I'm not sure if I really went over this one yet or not, but Zubat. Like you guys saw at the beginning of that one episode, you can capture Zubat here. I'm not really going to go over it too much. I will recommend it, definitely, because I'm using it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Has an immunity to, being poisoned and drowned. And so, it's really good. I really like Crobat a lot. Spoiler alert, Crobat, but yeah. So, pick one up if you really want to. Hopefully you'll be a lot luckier than me and get it at a higher level. Again, I got it at, I rated it an 8 out of 10. Just because it can be a little bit frail at times, but Crobat's amazing. I can't wait for my Golbat to evolve. And moving right along, Aeron. Aeron is one of the Pokemon that can be hard to use at first, but when you get it going and get it up there, it can be a beast. Aeron is Steel and Rock type. Evolves into Lairon at level 32 and an Aggron at level 42. It has some of the best defenses in the game, being Steel and Rock type. Resistant to almost anything underneath the sun. Has a quad weakness to fighting and ground though, which are physical. And I could definitely recommend this Pokemon. It also does have some really good offensive capabilities too, being able to learn stuff I think like Surf, Thunder, Solar Beam, and then Flamethrower, Iron Tail, Rock Slide, Earthquake. It's a really good Pokemon. I don't know, its special stat probably isn't the best, but it's still extremely usable. And I gave Aeron in its evolution a 9 out of 10. Yeah, only 2 Pokemon got the 9 out of 10, and that was Trapinch and Aeron. But moving along to the last Pokemon, Wooper. A Pokemon that's just, it has no arms, but it's so happy. Like, you probably have seen Wooper smile before. It has no arms, and it's just so happy. Like, awesome enough to use it by itself. If you saw, again, Chucky Conroy's Pokemon Coliseum LP, you'll definitely see that how usable Rooper, or not really Rooper, but Cracksire, the evolved form is, that evolves only at level 20. So when capturing your Rooper here, you can capture Rooper at level 20, and level up one time, and you got yourself a very little Cracksire. It's water and ground type, which only gives it one weakness, grass. And it's a quad weakness too, kind of like how Fortress is bug and still and only has one weakness, but it's a quad weakness to fire. Because of that one weakness though, and the immunity it gets from electric attacks, I gave it a 7 out of 10. You're probably wondering, why a 7? Why not higher? Well, I happen to really like Cracksire. I've used it quite a few times before. But its stats are kind of mediocre. It's not a sweeper, and it's not exactly a tank. It does have a lot of hit points, and can use stuff like Yawn. But I do recommend it though. I could probably even give it an 8 out of 10. 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I'll give it a 7.5. 7.5 out of 10. I definitely do recommend Cracksire, even though the number probably doesn't suggest it. You know what, forget it. I give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, that's it. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I have on my sheet here a 7, just because of the mediocre stats, but that's no reason to give it a 7. That's Cracksire. Cracksire is awesome. How can you not like Cracksire? It's like not liking the hilarious Wanderer Mirror B. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for Cracksire. I definitely recommend it. So now that my... Oh, I didn't even face the Pokespot. There we go. And now we get to leave. Because next up is we're going to go on over here to Pyrite Town. If my controller would like to move faster. Because, as you probably remember from what we did with Surskit to Shuckle, Duking can actually trade you some Pokemon. If you go over here after taking out Exo in the Anubis building, he will trade you Pokemon for 3 cons that he's already told you about. Trapinch, Rooper, or, of course, Surskit. Now, I see why he wanted Trapinch and a Rooper. And by the way, did you guys know, if I believe correctly, Rooper can learn Ice Punch? He's so happy that he doesn't have arms. He's so happy he doesn't have arms, but has somehow taught himself to use Ice Punch. That's a bro. Rooper is MVP. Ice Punch with no hands. And yet he's still so happy. But yeah, you see, I haven't caught any of them. I actually will be giving little Poke Snacks and the things now. So on screen, I will be able to start capturing Pokemon. I keep on hitting my computer thing. Sorry about that. But I've already given you the bio for Shuckle, I think. Shuckle is, primarily defensive. Look at that. Defenses, 137 and 129. He's never going to outspeed anything. He's never going to do a one-hit KO. But just look at those defenses, though. He can definitely poison something, protect. Once he gets rest, he's going to be ridiculous. And so, yeah. That's pretty much what it is. But keep in mind, I don't really like to use items in battle. I try not to, unless it's like, Golbat or something. Where's Golbat? There's Golbat. Yeah, so he can get his friendship on up. But yeah, you trade Surskit for Shuckle, and I actually rate this thing pretty high. I gave it a 9 out of 10, just because even though he's not, an attacker much, he can still do a lot of, he can still wreck house with those defenses and toxic and protect. Sandstorm to raise the special defense even more. It's just, I have spent so many times battling Pipe Queen Lucy, to where her Shuckle would be the one not knocking me out the most. Not the Milotic or the Survivor, the Shuckle. Because it would rest, and I couldn't do anything about it. It would use like rest, protect, and toxic. It's crazy. Shuckle can definitely knock things out. Things only fainted once or so. It's ridiculous though. Doesn't have a whole lot of hit points, but hey, who cares about hit points when you got defensive over 100? Both of them. It's not like Cloister where you only have one really high physical defense and then your special defense is like poo. But alright, now that my rant over the hilarious Shuckle, man, Shuckle's awesome. They sure gave Mirror B a Shuckle. That would just be magic. But for Trapinch though, when you trade him a Trapinch, you get a Meditite. Meditite is fighting psychic type. gets some pretty good moves whenever you first get it. I think it has like high jump kick and stuff. It's pretty crazy. And Meditite does evolve kind of late, level 37. It's not bad though. I could definitely recommend it. I think it has like Shadow Ball and Confusion too when you get it. It's pretty good. I've yet to use Meditite, but I think my next playthrough of this game, I'm going to try and use Meditite. Just because Meditite and Steel are two Pokemon I kind of want to use now. But yeah, Meditite is pretty good. Medicham, really good. It already has high jump kick at level 20. Really strong. I give it an 8 out of 10. And last up, you'll trade Wooper for Larvitar. If you play Coliseum and you know how Tyranitar is, Larvitar is amazing. It evolves into Pupitar at level 30 and then Tyranitar at level 55. Think it's safe to say you probably won't have Tyranitar by the end of the boss, by the end of the game, final boss. You probably won't have Tyranitar. But it's still pretty good though. It's a rock and ground type, and when it evolves into Tyranitar, it becomes a rock and dark type, still giving it a 4 times weakness to fighting. But hey, Larvitar and Pupitar have a 4 times weakness to water and grass, so pretty good. Very good attack. It's a shame that Crunch is special in this game, and so is Bite. It would be amazing if it wasn't special. But still very usable. I have actually used it before. It's not the easiest thing, but I have used it before. It's really good. Tyranitar gets Sandstream, so if you have anything working around Sandstorm, I could definitely see that being a good thing. I don't know why it's on that screen. There we go. Sorry about that. And my recommendation for Larvitar, an 8 out of 10. All the Pokemon that Duke can trade you are amazing. Meditite, Shuckle, and Larvitar. You can probably make part of your team with just those 3. They're really good. I got really lucky with the Surskit find, I'll tell you that much. But alright, moving on. The last thing I want to talk about is stuff with Mirror B. As you saw, because we did fail to capture the Shadow Noctu, Mirror B was able to reappear and we were able to battle them for the Shadow Pokemon. I'm going to say this now. Any Pokemon you fail to capture will be in the hands of Mirror B. Soon enough. Whenever you have multiple Shadow Pokemon failed to capture, then what happens next is he'll have a random one. It won't just be like the last one you failed to capture. It'll be a random one. So yeah. Mirror B can appear at the Rock Pokespot, the Oasis Pokespot, the Cave Pokespot, and Pyrite Town. When it says Pyrite Town, it means he's in the Coliseum. When you see Mirror B is in the Pyrite Town, you'll want to go to the Coliseum, and he will be in one of the 4 trainer spots. He could be the first one you battle, he could be the last one you battle. That is random. You won't know when he pops up until you see that big old jiggly afro and his backflip dance moves, and bah! Mirror B. Now, maybe a spoiler. I thought about going over this. I think I will. Just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I think I will go over it now, and then I'll just re-go over it a little bit when the time comes. He can also appear at the Real Game Tower in the Coliseum. Basically, you do the same thing. You'll go to the Real Game Tower, enter the battles there, and he'll be one of 4 trainers, either in spot 1, 2, 3, or 4. You'll be able to battle him. He'll have 1 Shadow Pokemon. Later on in the game, spoiler alert, I'm not going to quite say. There's something else that goes on a little bit later on that could change 1 Shadow Pokemon. His team can vary between a few Pokemon that he actually has. In the Pokespot and the Coliseums, his level, well, Pyrite Town Coliseum that is, his level will be level 20, and he could have one of these Pokemon. He could have 2 Lombres, an Electrode, a Hoppip, well, I guess I'll tell you the types too. Lombres are water grass type, and Electrode, which is an electric type, Hoppip, which is a grass flying type, Sudowoodo, which is a rock type, Nuzleaf, which is a grass dark type, and I think even Ludicolo, kind of like how we saw him have 2 Ludicolos at the Pokespot. And he could even have a Mist Shadow Pokemon, not could even have, he will have a Mist Shadow Pokemon if you find him there. And of course you can find him at the Real Game Tower. At the Real Game Tower, his Pokemon are level 40, so he's pretty powerful. And he can have stuff like Lombre, water grass type, Ludicolo, water grass type, Electrode, electric type, Jumpluff, grass flying type, Sudowoodo, rock type, Shiftry, grass dark type, And again, he will have a missed Shadow Pokemon. I'm not really going to go into movesets because he is not required bosses there. He's just a Battle Force Shadow Pokemon, which could be a boss, but I'm not going to really go over mindsets. What's it called? I want to say mindsets. Movesets, yeah, movesets, yeah. Seems legit. Alright, so sorry if this episode went on kind of long. I see we're at 25 minutes. You know, no real action or anything. But, yeah. Now, let me see if I can get a little bit of action for this video. You know, who's close to a level up? You're close to a level up, Snow, right? Oh, a Shuckle, too. You know, I think he was at like 1333 or something. But, alright, so sorry about the lack of action. I'm gonna go see if I can maybe get a battle with somebody, just so this video is not a complete, you know, bore fest. I hated that it came down to this, because I was stupid and decided not to do bios whenever I was at each Pokespot. I was too concerned on Mirror B. But there you guys are, a little bit of a bio on all the Pokemon. You guys are now able to know what Pokemon you can find at what Pokespot, just in case you want some of those Pokemon. Sorry that came this late in the series, and I think this is episode number 22. Let's see if I can face this guy. This is, I think, the first or second guy we had a battle with. So, you know, for nostalgia's sake, let's see. Yo, Calvin, I have a hunch that I can win today. Let's say we battle. Okay, let's get this happening. So while this battle is underway, I guess I'll take this time now to thank you guys for who are watching. Thank you guys. Just because it really means a lot. I've been wanting to do LPs for a while now, and I think I finally hit my groove now. I know I'm not super popular, and I know the videos are not the best. But it's still very, very kind of you guys being able to watch this stuff and comment. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, let's go all out with Thunder. But I guess I will also take this time to, you know, say I have a Facebook page, Flamecalvin. Look me up. That's where I'll be posting updates if I can't post in a little bit, if I have a failed recording. Which, by the way, it's another historic moment in Flamecalvin LP history. This recording I'm doing today is take 2. Yeah, I had a failed recording. Kinda crazy, but yeah. Guess it's bound to happen eventually, but failed recording, smelled recording. Yeah. But like I said, I do have a Facebook page, Flamecalvin. You can like me on there. You can leave me comments and stuff on there. Had to stretch. But yeah, Flamecalvin. You know, you can subscribe to me here. That'd be really cool. I wouldn't mind that one bit. So yeah. And, ooh, we got confusion hats. With that out of the way, I guess we'll finish up this battle. I want to have a little bit of action, at least. Now, I kind of started out on the rim, man. Let's do, I think, a Thunder Shock, and let's Water Pulse. It's a shame. I wonder if Snowrunn's nature is like a negative special attack nature. That's kind of tough. But, I still love Snow in its evolved form. Like 14 levels until it evolves. And, ooh, well, I guess this is getting interesting. We're learning Crunch. It is special base, but hey, it's 80. And lower special defense. So that actually worked really well for me. Crunch will be replaced with Fight. Definitely going to replace it with Fight. Crunch is a really good move. It's kind of early on, it's pretty good. I think the next move we learn is going to be Ice Beam. Excited for that. And there we go, one shot hits Ninkata. And yes, Snorunt got the level that we wanted, and I'm Crunch, so pretty good for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for bearing with me. And remember I said, like me, subscribe me, like me on Facebook, tell me what I can do better, give me hints, suggestions, stuff I missed. Anything would be very appreciated to hear back from y'all. Thank you guys for watching. I have to put it at the regular screen so I feel complete. Whoa, I can see defeat, Calvin. There's nothing fake about your toughness. Calvin, so long as you're ground, galactic peace is assured. Generation 4 confirmed, everybody. See you all next time.